Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamlam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijan Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishavanu Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, thank you all for coming. Quick announcement that tomorrow, 2nd November, Sunday, daylight saving time changes here in Toronto. So from next Saturday, which is 8th of November, so we will start 1 hour early in Toronto time. And India time will stay the same. Now, if all of you agree, we can actually start 15 minutes earlier so that our class length is 1 hour 15 minutes. You all let me know. So what will happen is that Toronto time, instead of starting at 11, it will start at 10:45 a.m. and will run till 12 noon. And India time will be 9:15 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Just so that we have a little bit of extra time. Now, I also want to simultaneously mention that I have no control on Mayapur Institute holding my Srimad Bhagavatam Bhakti Vaibhav course. And because of the time change, if Mayapur Institute also adjusts the class time, well, then we will have to go back to Toronto time early morning at 7:30 a.m. So far, nothing is mentioned, so we can stick to, instead of 11 a.m., like instead of 12 noon start time for today, can start 11 a.m. But simultaneously, I'm also recommending and requesting we can start at 10:45 a.m. Toronto time, which will be 9:15 p.m. India time. Everybody?
Okay, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhuji.
All right.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay, Prabhu.
Shivangi, Shalini, Gopal, 10:45 to 12 noon, okay, Toronto time. Okay, so the message in the chat, they are also okay. All right, so follow my messages and we'll go from there. The other announcement, His Grace Uttan Prabhu from Toronto is planning a yatra to Holy Dham. This poster is prepared by Raksha. There is other poster also I will share. So he's planning a yatra to Holy Dham, Vrindavan, Jagannath Puri and Mayapur, which is 11th February to 26th February. So if you are interested, you can consider to join, or you can spread the word. And the other posters, I don't know which one he will use. The content is identical, just the visuals are different. And those in India can also join. It's not just limited to those here in North America. All right, so today we will revise leftover chapters of Unit 17, which is chapters 17, 18, 19 of Canto 4. Shalini and Gopal Krishna are traveling, so I will play their recording. Let's hear.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Dandvat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. Seeking permission and blessings from you all, Srila Prabhupada and all gurus in disciplic succession, and Sri Sri Radha and Krishna, I would like to present a summary of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 17, Prithu Maharaj becomes angry at the earth. Please forgive me for any shortcomings or mistakes. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. In the previous chapters, we discussed Maharaja Prithu's coronation and heard the professional reciters glorifying his qualities and chivalrous activities. Sage Maitreya continued that at the end, Maharaja Prithu offered them various presentations with all due respects and worshipped them adequately. Vidura asks Maitreya Muni 6 questions about Prithu Maharaj. Question number 1. Why did the earth take the form of a cow? This is answered in this chapter 17. Question 2. Who became the calf and what was the milking pot while Prithu Maharaj was milking earth? This is answered in chapter 18. Question 3. How did Prithu Maharaj make the uneven earth flat? This is answered in chapter 18. Question 4. Why did Indra steal the sacrificial horse? Answered in chapter 19. Question number 5. What destination did Prithu Maharaj attain after receiving Jnana and Vijnana from Sanat Kumara? Answered in chapter 22 and 23. Question number 6. Narrate all glorious topics of King Prithu which are pleasing to hear and produce all good fortune. This is answered in chapters 17, text 9 up to chapter 23. Suta Goswami continued, when Vidura became inspired to hear of the activities of Lord Krishna and his various incarnations, Maitreya also being inspired and being very pleased with Vidura, began to praise him. And then Maitreya Muni spoke as follows. When Prithu Maharaj was ruling the kingdom, some citizens approached him, saying that they were suffering because they did not have sufficient food grains. Therefore, they requested the king to arrange to satisfy their hunger, or else they would soon die for want of food. After hearing this lamentation and seeing the pitiable condition of the citizens, King Prithu contemplated this matter for a long time to see if he could find out the underlying cause. He discovered the cause was food grain scarcity. The earth was not producing sufficient food grains, seeds, and natural resources. Prithu Maharaj thought of punishing the earth. He took up his bow and arrow and aimed at the earth. When earth saw King Prithu coming to kill her, she became very afraid and took the shape of a cow and began to run. Since a cow should never be killed, Mother Earth thought it wise to take the shape of a cow to avoid King Prithu's arrows. But Prithu Maharaj kept chasing her. The cow-shaped earth ran here and there in outer space between heavenly planets and earth. Wherever she ran, King chased her with bows and arrows. The earth, fearful, heart aggrieved, turned back in helplessness and addressed King Prithu as Dharmagya, which refers to one who knows the principles of religion and gives reasons why not to be killed. She says, O King, you are the shelter of surrendered souls. Please be merciful, spare me. I have not committed any sin. Thus, I do not understand why you want to kill me, a cow who is a woman. Even if a woman does commit sinful activity, no one punishes her. And what to speak of you, dear King, who is so merciful to the poor and unfortunate. Earth continues, I am a strong boat on whom the whole world stands and the citizens are sustained. If you kill me, all will sink. Maharaja Prithu counters Earth, informed her that first of all she had disobeyed his orders by not delivering the seeds of herbs and grains. This was her first sinful activity. Secondly, he accused her of taking her share of yagyas, sacrifices, and not producing sufficient food grains in return. Therefore, he was justified in threatening to punish her for her offenses. Now, with the help of my arrows, I shall cut you into pieces, Maharaja Prithu said, and with your flesh satisfy the hunger-stricken citizens who are crying for want of grains. Any cruel person, be he a man, woman, or impotent eunuch, who is only interested in his own personal maintenance and no compassion for other living entities, may be killed by the king. As far as destruction of citizen is concerned, Maharaja Prithu maintained that he could uphold everyone by his own mystic powers and he did not need the help of the earthly planet. At this time, Maharaja Prithu became exactly like Yamraj and his whole body appeared very angry. Planet Earth saw Maharaja Prithu as anger and death personified. Therefore, she began to tremble and offered the following prayers. My dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, you are transcendental in your position and by your material energy you have expanded yourself in various forms and species of life through the interaction of three modes of material nature. Planet Earth continued, My dear Lord, you are the complete conductor of the material creation. You have created this cosmic manifestation and the three material qualities, and therefore you have created me, the planet Earth, the resting place of all living entities, and who produces grains for them. Now that you are present before me, ready to kill me with your weapons, let me know where should I go to take shelter and tell me who can give me protection. My dear Lord, although you are one, by your inconceivable potencies you have expanded yourself in many forms. Through the agency of Brahma, you have created this universe. You are therefore directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the cause of all causes. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. My dear Lord, you are always unborn. Once in the form of original boar, you rescued me from the waters at the bottom of the universe. You are Dhara, who holds planet Earth. You are about to kill me with your sharpened arrows. I am just like a boat on water, keeping everything afloat. My dear Lord, I am the creation of one of your energies, composed of three modes of material nature. Consequently, I am bewildered by your activities. Even your activities of your devotees cannot be understood. What to speak of your pastimes? Thus, everything appears to be contradictory and wonderful. The activities of the Lord in his various forms and incarnations are always uncommon and wonderful. It is not possible for a tiny human being to estimate the purpose and plan of such activities. We are all receiving protection from the Lord, and it is therefore proper that every one of us surrender unto him. In Bhagavad Gita 18.66, the Lord instructs, Sarva dharmam parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayashami ma suchaha. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. So, the best course for us is to surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead wholeheartedly and being protected by Him remain peaceful. Thank you all for listening. Hare Krishna.
Any questions, comments, realizations for Shalini?
Super excellent presentation. Hare Krishna.
You are correct. Shalini has already covered everything for chapter 17. Okay, let me also quickly summarize. Canto 4, chapter 17 is titled Prithu Maharaj becomes angry at earth. After the coronation of Prithu Maharaj, described in the previous chapter 16, Prithu Maharaj satisfies the bards and respects everyone. At the start of chapter 17, Vidura asks 6 questions about Prithu Maharaj. Question 1 is, why did earth take the form of a cow? This is answered here in this chapter 17 from verse 9 all till start of chapter 18. Question 2 is, who became the calf and what was the milking pot while Prithu Maharaj was milking? This is described in middle part of chapter 18. Question 3 is, how did Prithu Maharaj make the uneven earth flat? It's described in chapter 18, the last part of chapter. Question 4 is, why did Indra steal the sacrificial horse? Answer is described in chapter 19. Question 5 is, what destination did Prithu Maharaj attain after receiving Jnana and Vijnana from Sanat Kumaras? The answer is described in chapter 22 and the first half of chapter 23. Question 6 is, narrate all the glorious topics of King Prithu, which are very pleasing to hear and produce all good fortune. The answer is described here in this chapter 17 all the way to chapter 23. The significance of Prithu Maharaj accepting Sanat Kumara as his spiritual master is described that Prithu Maharaj has illustrated one who is serious about receiving transcendental Vedic knowledge must accept a bona fide guru from one of the 4 disciplic successions. Unless one accepts a mantra from one of the bona fide acharya of one of the 4 official sampradayas, until then the so-called mantra will not act. There are many sampradayas that have sprung up in the material world without authority, and they are actually misleading people by giving unauthorized mantras. These so-called sampradayas do not observe the Vedic rules and regulations, and they mislead people. Therefore, people should be very careful of these bogus sampradayas. Prithu Maharaj showed by his example that one should receive knowledge from a bona fide spiritual master from one of the 4 bona fide sampradayas. Therefore, Prithu Maharaj accepted Sanat Kumara as a spiritual master. The citizens approach King Prithu stating that they are suffering because of great hunger. Prithu Maharaj contemplated and concluded that earth was not producing sufficient food grains. Therefore, Prithu Maharaj becomes angry at earth and chases earth to punish earth. Seeing King Prithu raised bow and arrow, earth trembled and ran like a deer runs from a hunter. The question is, why was there scarcity of food grains? The scarcity of food grains was not due to people's fault. They were not lazy in executing their duties. No. Rather, the earth was not producing sufficient food grains. This indicates that earth can produce sufficiently if everything is properly arranged. But sometimes earth can refuse to produce food grains for various reasons. The theory that scarcity of food grains is due to increase in population is not correct. There are other causes that enable the earth to produce profusely or to stop producing at all. So the Mother Earth took the shape of a cow, and why she took the shape of a cow? That just as mother produces various children, both male and female, the womb of Mother Earth produces all kinds of living entities in various shapes. Therefore, it is possible for Mother Earth to take any of the shapes. At this time, in order to avoid the wrath of King Prathu, she took the shape of a cow, since cow is never to be killed. And therefore, Mother Earth thought it wise to take the shape of a cow in order to avoid King Prathu's arrows. So Earth gives various reasons to not be killed, because she says to Prathu Maharaj that you are knower of religious principles. You are shelter of surrendered. You are king and you should protect all living entities. I am just a poor person. I have not committed any sins. How can a dharmagya like you kill a woman? No one strikes even a sinful woman. What to speak of you who are so merciful and affectionate to the poor? And I am like a strong boat on which the whole world stands. If you break me to pieces, how will you stop everyone from drowning into the Garbhodaka ocean? So Prithu Maharaj counters Earth's various arguments by saying that he is not committing any sins in punishing Earth, because Earth has disobeyed my orders and not producing sufficient food grains. On the question of how you can kill a cow and how you can feed cow meat, Prithu Maharaj counters that in real extreme circumstances, if there is shortage of food, as an exception, a dried up cow that has naturally died may be utilized to feed hungry masses of society. The point here is that there is no need to maintain slaughterhouses for satisfaction of tongue. And on Earth's reason that how you can kill a woman, Prithu Maharaj argues that king may kill a cruel man or woman. On Earth's reason that you how can you hold them in water if you destroy Earth? And Prithu Maharaj counters that I will support entire population by my mystic powers. At this point, Earth could understand that Prithu Maharaj is empowered incarnation of Supreme Lord, and in order to pacify Prithu Maharaj's anger, Earth starts offering prayers. Prithu Maharaj says that if Earth's words are correct, that means I have no attachment to you. Therefore, I can kill you. Therefore, in the next prayer, Earth says that you, my Lord, are my only shelter. You have created all living beings. You are maintaining and protecting living beings. To this, Prithu Maharaj may question, are you saying I am irreligious? And Earth responds, no, you are not irreligious. But your activities are bewildering. Earth is arguing that the living entities are like my children on my lap, and I am nourishing them with milk. And seeing the evil ways of living entities, I have not supplied milk so as to rectify the living entities. But you are trying to punish me for this. I am bewildered. The crux of this Canto 4, chapter 17 is in the last verse number 36, that Lord's contradictory activities are bewildering. That how should one understand these apparently contradictory acts of the Lord? Prabhupada explains the activities of Supreme Lord in his various forms and incarnations are always uncommon as well as wonderful. It is not possible for we tiny human beings to estimate the purpose and plans of such activities. Therefore, Srila Jiva Goswami has said that unless Lord's activities are accepted as inconceivable, they cannot be explained. Example is given that super soul in the heart of a thief dictates that you go and steal things from a particular house. And at the same time, the Lord tells the householder, now be careful of the thieves and burglars. So these instructions to different persons appear contradictory, yet we should know that the super soul has some plan, and we should not consider such activities contradictory. The best course is for us to surrender to the Supreme Lord wholeheartedly and being protected by Him. That way we'll remain peaceful. That's a quick summary of chapter 17. Questions, comments, realizations? All right, Gopal Prabhu is also traveling, so I will play Gopal Prabhu's recording as well.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. Seeking permission and blessings from you all, Srila Prabhupada, all gurus in the disciplic succession, and Sri Radha and Krishna. I would like to present a summary of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 18, titled Prithu Maharaj Milks the Earth. Please forgive me for any shortcomings or mistakes. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. In context, King Prithu, angered by the earth's failure to provide food, confronts her. The earth, personified as a cow, pleads for understanding and explains that resources have been misused by non-devotees, prompting her to hide them. In this chapter, earth advises the king to follow Vedic principles and perform sacrifices to retrieve the hidden grains and herbs, and Prithu Maharaj complies to restore prosperity. At the beginning of the chapter, the great saint Maitreya describes to Vidra how King Prithu was still not pacified after the planet Earth finished her prayers, and his lips trembled in great anger. Although the planet Earth was frightened, she made up her mind and began to speak, convincing the king. Earth pleaded, "O king, please pacify your anger completely and hear patiently whatever I submit before you. Please turn your kind attention to this. I may be very poor, but a learned man takes the essence of knowledge from all places, just as a bumblebee collects honey from every flower. To benefit all human society, not only in this life but in the next, the great seers and sages have prescribed various methods conducive to the prosperity of the people in general. Vedic injunctions are known as Shruti, and the additional supplementary presentations of these principles and given by the great sages are known as Smriti. One should follow the principles laid down in Shrutis and Smritis not only in one's spiritual life but in material life as well. If people follow the injunctions given by the great sages, Shrutis and Smritis, they can actually be happy in both this life and the next. By following the principles laid down by great sages and saints of the past, we can very easily understand the aim of all life. Presently, people so fallen that they cannot distinguish between a liberated soul and a conditioned soul. A conditioned soul has 4 defects. He commits mistakes, he is illusioned, he has a tendency to cheat others, and his senses are imperfect. A liberated person is free from these, and consequently, we have to take direction from liberated persons who receive instructions directly from the Lord. Because the entire world is now following the imperfect directions of conditioned souls, humanity is completely bewildered. There is a reason why Mother Earth was holding grains. The reason was the bad ruling of Earth by unscrupulous personalities. Vina was a bad king, and because of his sinful activities, cruel administration, and stopping all sacrifices, Earth has the ability to cause prosperity, support all living entities on the planet, but also holds the right to withdraw or to hold all grains and seeds when people living on her are sinful, especially when leaders and kings are sinful. The whole Vedic plan is that the misguided conditioned souls who have come to lord it over material nature should be trained to become Dhritavrata, devotees. This means that they should take a vow to satisfy their senses or enjoy material life only by satisfying the senses of the Supreme Lord. Activities intended to satisfy the senses of Supreme Lord Krishna are called Krishna Artha Kilashista. This indicates that one can attempt all kinds of work, but one should do so to satisfy Krishna. This is described in Bhagavad Gita 3.9 as Yajna Arthat Karma. The word Yajna indicates Lord Vishnu. We should work only for his satisfaction. In modern times, Kali Yuga, however, people have forgotten Vishnu altogether. They conduct their activities for sense gratification. Such people will gradually become poverty-stricken, for they cannot use things which are to be enjoyed by the Supreme Lord for their own sense gratification. Mother Earth, being satisfied by Maharaj Prithu's righteous ruling, was happy to give all kinds of natural resources and offered suggestions on how to enhance prosperity in the kingdom. Mother Earth gives instructions of how to milk her. The planet Earth requested Maharaja Prithu to level the surface of the earth, breaking up the high land and mountains. Then Prithu Maharaj was very pleased by the prayers and suggestions given by Mother Earth. He gave up his anger. He then transformed Swambhya Manu into a calf and milked all the herbs and grains from the earth in the form of a cow, keeping them in his cupped hands. Mother Earth took the form of a cow, and different personalities milked the cow to produce various natural resources. The planet Earth supplied everyone with respective food. Thereafter, King Prithu was very satisfied with the planet Earth, for it sufficiently provided all food to various living entities. Thus, he developed an affection for planet Earth, just as if she were his own daughter. After this, the king of all kings, Maharaj Prithu, leveled all rough places on the surfaces of the globe by breaking up the hills with strength of his bow. By his grace, the surface of the globe almost became flat. To all the citizens of the state, King Prithu was as good as a father. Prithu Maharaj flattens the land, organizes cities and villages, and ensures proper livelihood for all. His reign marks the beginning of structural human civilization and harmonious coexistence with nature. This concludes my presentation. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Any questions, comments, realizations for Gopal Prabhu?
Good presentation, Prabhu. References to the various scriptures, Bhagavad Gita especially. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Like Shalini, Gopal Prabhu has also done a very good summary of chapter 18. I will also quickly summarize. So chapter 18 is very straightforward chapter. His title, Prithu Maharaj milks the earth planet. Seeing Prithu Maharaj is still not satisfied, earth explains the reasons for hiding the seeds meant for sacrifice. The reasons for hiding the seeds meant for sacrifice is that with Vena in mind, earth is saying that earth is unprotected because no sacrifices were being performed, and earth is not respected because of spread of irreligion. And when Vena died, the place became filled with thieves, hence earth devoured all the herbs and grains so that sacrifices may be started in future by Prithu Maharaj. And simultaneously, earth also explains the method to milk earth and get everything from earth. The difference between conditioned soul and liberated soul is described that conditioned soul is hampered by 4 defects, that he is sure to commit mistakes, sure to become illusioned, he has tendency to cheat, and his senses are imperfect. Consequently, we have to take direction from liberated persons. A Krishna conscious movement directly receives instructions from Supreme Lord via persons, bona fide spiritual masters who are strictly following his instructions. Now, although a follower may not be a liberated person, still if he follows the Supreme liberated personality of Godhead, his actions are naturally liberated from the contamination of material nature. So prayers of earth did not help to pacify Prithu Maharaj, but now as earth is explaining the various reasons as to why she is not producing, and earth also explains the method to milk earth and get everything. So after hearing such pleasing and beneficial words from earth, Prithu Maharaj is now satisfied. And Prithu Maharaj makes Swayambhuva Manu as the calf, and he milked all the herbs and grains. Similarly, various personalities also milked earth to get the various items required on earth. And Mother Earth supplies to everyone. And lastly, Prithu Maharaj establishes planned cities. So the town and city planning began from the time of Prithu Maharaj. That's a real quick summary of chapter 18. Questions, comments, realizations? All right, chapter 19, Abhishek Prabhu first.
Mm. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, everyone. Seeking permission from all assembled devotees, Srila Prabhupada, Sri Guru Parampara, and Sri Sri Radha Krishna, to be able to present on Srimad Bhagavatam. So, chapter 19 is titled King Prithu's 100 horse sacrifices. This chapter discusses the performance of Ashwamedh Yajna by Prithu Maharaj, in Indra stealing the sacrificial horse, and finally how Brahmaji appears and prevents Prithu Maharaj and the priest from killing Indra. So in this section, in this chapter, uh, it is described that Prithu Maharaj was performing many horse sacrifices. He has already completed 99 sacrifices, and another is going on. Lord Vishnu was personally present in these sacrifices, so other demigods and devotees also accompanied him, and this was very auspicious, and the sacrifices were very successful to satisfy all the necessities of life. Earth was supplied with all the tastes or rasas to satisfy the living entities, as it is described that Krishna is, as it is described in Bhagavad Gita 7.10, that Krishna is the seed-giving father, and also in Ishopanishad that because because the creation is coming from Lord Krishna, it is complete to satisfy all the needs of the inhabitants. So similarly, Earth was fully potent to satisfy all the tastes of the living entities. Prithu Maharaj was conducting his hundreds Ashwamedh Yajna, and it is said that by the piety of resulting from these so many yajnas, one becomes qualified to become the king of heaven. So this created a sense of competition and envy within the current king of heaven, Indra, who could not tolerate anyone exceeding him in yajna and fruitive activities. So Indra became envious of the incarnation of Krishna, Prithu Maharaj, and he decided to stop this final sacrifice. And he devised various means of stopping these sacrifices. Like he took the role of a sannyasi and he stole the sacrificial horse. And in this way, by performing these sinful acts, he became degraded. And he tried different ways to stop the sacrifice, and took different guises of sannyasis. And in these cheating forms, they became different forms for the like he started a tradition because of his different cheating forms, different cheating traditions started, and Indra introduced these cheating traditions. So living entities with a desire to cheat because of the natural cheating tendency uh, followed such cheating forms and cheating religious processes. I'd like to recite the translations of verses 22 and 23, which are very important on this point. 22 says, Then the great hero Vijitsava, the son of King Prithu, again took the horse and returned to his father's sacrificial arena. Since that time, certain men with poor fund of knowledge have adopted the dress of a false sannyasi. It was King Indra who introduced this. Similarly, text 23 says, Whatever different forms Indra assumed as a mendicant, because of his desire to seize the horse, were symbols of atheistic philosophy. So we can see how, because of these cheating traditions introduced by Indra, currently many forms of cheating religions are visible on earth. In one of the purports, in the purports to verse 23, Srila Prabhupada says, in Kali Yuga, the Pakhandis are very prominent. However, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has tried to kill all these Pakhandis by introducing his Sankirtana movement. Those who take advantage of the Sankirtana movement of the International Society of Krishna Consciousness, will be able to save themselves from the influence of these Pakhandis. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to summarize this section of Srimad Bhagavatam. Please forgive me if there were any mistakes. Hare Krishna.
Very good. Kalyani, Shira Prabhus.
Hare Krishna Matajis and Prabhujis, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to His divine grace, Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Seeking the blessings and permission from Guru and Gauranga, I would like to present the summary of Part 3 of Canto 4, Chapter 19, that is from verses 26 to 42. Please forgive for any shortcomings and mistakes in this presentation. Part 3 is titled as Lord Brahma appears at the scene of Yajna to dissuade the priest and Prithu Maharaj from killing Indra. As discussed in earlier verses, we have seen that Indra had introduced many irregular sannyasa orders for impeding the execution of Yajna being performed by Prithu Maharaj and the priest. It is the duty of the king not to tolerate the introduction of any religious systems. Since King Prithu was an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, certainly his duty was to cut down all kinds of irreligious systems. Hence, Prithu Maharaj took his bow and arrow to kill Indra. Seeing this, the priest tries to dissuade Prithu Maharaj from killing Indra. They request him not to do so because only sacrificial animals can be killed in a sacrifice according to the directions given by Shastra. The priest further advises that Indra's power has already been reduced due to his cheating actions. Therefore, priest shall bring down Indra by mantras and cast him into the sacrificial fire. Hence, when the priests were engaged in chanting mantras to cast Lord Indra in the sacrificial fire, Lord Brahma appears on the scene and forbids them from performing the sacrifice. Lord Brahma addresses the priests that it is not their duty to kill Indra. Lord Brahma tries to draw the attention to the fact that King Indra has adopted many religious means in order to impede the performance of King Prithu's great sacrifice. If you oppose him any further, he will further misuse his power and introduce many other religious systems. And this, in the future, will destroy the clear path of religious life. Hence, Lord Brahma concludes that let there be only 99 sacrificial performances for Maharaja Prithu. Lord Brahma then addresses Maharaja Prithu that Maharaja Prithu, being a great devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it was not necessary for him to perform the prescribed Vedic ritualistic ceremonies. As the ideal king, however, it was King Prithu's duty to perform sacrifices. Therefore, a compromise was to be worked out. Hence, Brahma gives blessings that even though King Prithu performs 99 sacrifices, King Prithu would become more famous than King Indra. Lord Brahma pacifies King Prithu by asking him not to get agitated and anxious. The more we try to rectify such reversals, the more we enter into the darkest region of materialistic thought. Lord Krishna has also advised us in this connection that we should tolerate things instead of becoming agitated. Lord Brahma's purpose was to end the competition between Lord Indra and Maharaja Prithu. Brahma requested Prithu Maharaj to desist from his unnecessary competition with Indra and stop the yajna in the interest of his original purpose as an incarnation. The original purpose was to maintain the peace and prosperity of the citizens. The irreligious principles created by Indra are nothing but mothers of so many unwanted religions. These attractive, sinful activities which Indra has introduced will be carried out by the people in general. Hence, Lord Brahma specially requested King Prithu to conquer the pseudo religious principles produced by King Indra and stop these imitations immediately. Thus Brahma requests King Prithu, please consider the purpose of your being incarnated by Lord Vishnu. When King Prithu was thus advised by the supreme teacher, Lord Brahma, he abandoned his eagerness to perform yajna and with great affection concluded a peace with King Indra. After this, Prithu Maharaja received the benedictions and due blessings of the demigods, who were very pleased by his glorious activities. With great respect, King Prithu offered all kinds of rewards to Brahmanas present at the sacrifice. Since all these Brahmanas were very much satisfied, they gave their heartfelt blessings to the king. Thus, in this way, Maharaj Prithu, being the incarnation of Lord Vishnu, sets an example of a religious and pious king for all the living entities on the earth. Thus ends the chapter 19 of Canto 4. At the end, I would like to highlight some key points of this chapter, if time permits. Anyone in this materialistic world could fall into the clutches of Maya along with demigods like Indra. Hence, we should always take the shelter of Supreme Personality of Godhead through Sankirtana Yajna to save oneself from such clutches. It is the duty of leaders to cut down all irreligious systems, and it is the duty of the citizens not to follow such pseudo-religious systems and always engage themselves in spiritual advancement. Sometimes the saintly or very religious persons also has to meet with reversals in life. One should avoid contracting such reversals, for the more contract of such reversals, the more we enter into the darkest regions of material anxiety. Hence, we should tolerate things instead of becoming agitated and act wisely for the higher purpose. All yajna is meant to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu. When one pours water on the root of a tree, the branches, trunk, twigs, flowers, and leaves are all satisfied. Similarly, when one gives food to the stomach, all parts of the body are rejuvenated. In the same way, if one simply satisfied Lord Vishnu by the performance of yajna, one satisfied all the demigods automatically. A pure devotee therefore does not ask benedictions directly from the demigods. His only business is to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this Kali Yuga, the Sankirtana Yajna is the only way and easiest way to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Thus ends the chapter.
Any questions, comments, realizations for Kalyani? As well as Abhishek Prabhu. All right, Abhishek Prabhu and Kalyani already have done a very good job of summarizing chapter 19. All of you have perfected this endeavor of summarizing. I will still summarize chapter 19. Chapter 19 is titled King Prithu's 100 Horse Sacrifices. At the start of the chapter, the term Matsara means enviousness is described. In material world, everyone who comes to enjoy himself or lord it over material nature is envious of others. And this envy is also found in Indra, the king of heaven. He was envious due to fear that those who perform great sacrifices might occupy his seat. Since no one in this material world can tolerate another's advancement, hence everyone in the material world is called Matsara, envious. Srimad Bhagavatam is therefore meant for those who are completely nirmatsaranam, non-envious, like you all devotees. One who is not free from contamination of envy, he cannot advance in Krishna consciousness. In Krishna consciousness, if someone excels another devotee, then the devotee who is excelled thinks how fortunate the other devotee is to be advancing in devotional service. Let me do some service to this devotee. Such non-envy is typical of Vaikuntha planets. On the other hand, when one is envious of his competitor, that is material. The demigods posted in the material world management are also not exempt from such envy. Prithu Maharaj's sacrifice excelled Indra's sacrifice because Lord Vishnu and other personalities, including Brahmaji and Shiva, were present at Prithu Maharaj's sacrifice. Now, all rasas or taste are within earth, and as soon as a seed is sown in the ground, various trees sprout with different taste, such as sugarcane or oranges or chilies. Although the earth's ground is same, still different tastes arise from different seeds. And is also stated in Shishopanishad that there's complete arrangement for production of all necessities of life, and these are made by Supreme Lord. So people should therefore learn to satisfy the Yajna Purusha, Lord Vishnu. Living entity's prime business is to satisfy the Lord, because living entity is part and parcel of the Lord. Thus the whole system is so arranged that living entity must do his duty as he is constitutionally made, and otherwise, if we do not satisfy the Lord, then devotees also, or materialistic people also, will suffer. This is the nature of law. Thus, everything is dependent on performance of yajna. The best yajna in this age of Kali Yuga is Sankirtan movement. Indra stole the sacrificial horse because Indra has also performed 100 horse sacrifices. And when King Prithu was performing the 100th yajna, Indra became envious because he did not want anyone to excel him. Being an ordinary living entity, Indra became envious of Prithu Maharaj. And by making himself invisible, he stole the horse and thus impeded the yajna performance. Upon Indra stealing the sacrificial horse, the lesson Srila Prabhupada draws is that Indra becoming envious of incarnation of God is that a living entity can even be as exalted as Indra, but still Indra is an ordinary living entity in the material world and possesses the 4 defects of conditioned soul. Indra is envious of incarnation of God, Prithu Maharaj. And by this, Prabhupada is saying the defects of material life are so strong that due to contamination, even Indra becomes envious of incarnation of God. Indra stole the sacrificial horse dressed like a sannyasi, which made people think adharma to be dharma. Atri Muni could see Indra stealing, therefore Atri Muni informed Prithu Maharaj's son of Indra's trick and to follow Indra and to kill Indra. But Prithu Maharaj's son did not shoot arrows at Indra, thinking Indra to be a religious person. So now he brings the horse back, but then Indra steals the horse again. Srila Prabhupada explains the result of Indra's false sannyasi dress, that different forms the Indra accepted to steal the horse, became symbols of sins. He dressed himself to appear as a liberated person. Actually, this dress was a form of cheating, for it falsely created an impression of religion. This saffron dress has been misused by many impostors who present themselves as liberated, and in this way they cheat people. This cheating tendency is also present in Indra. The saffron dress worn by sannyasi announces the world that he has renounced the world and is simply engaged in service of the Lord. Such a devotee is actually a sannyasi. Cheating sannyasis and yogis have existed since the time of Prithu Maharaj's sacrifice, and this cheating was foolishly introduced by Indra. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says a little spot in sannyasi's character will be magnified by public. Therefore, unless one is very sincere and serious, he should not take up the sannyas order. It is duty of king to not tolerate the introduction of such irreligious systems. And foolish people, seeing how Indra was not killed, such foolish people go on to accept such deceptions to attain siddhis or other people's wealth, etc. And they hope that they will also not be killed, just as Indra was not killed. People wrongly thought that such deceptions of just taking up sannyasi dress were real dharma. At this time, Lord Brahmaji appears on the scene to dissuade Prithu Maharaj and priests from killing Indra. Since Prithu Maharaj is the incarnation of the Lord, certainly his duty is to cut down all kinds of irreligious systems. Therefore, Prithu Maharaj did take up his bow to kill Indra. The priest dissuaded Prithu Maharaj from killing Indra. The priest said that Indra's power has already been reduced due to his cheating action. Hence, the priest will bring Indra by mantras and offer him in the fire sacrifice. Brahmaji told the priest and Prithu Maharaj that Indra had disrupted the sacrifice and dharma, and if you try to oppose Indra, Indra will continue to misuse his power and introduce even more religious systems. Brahmaji says, by his blessings, Prithu Maharaj will be more famous with 99 sacrifices than Indra's 100 sacrifices. Brahmaji asked Prithu Maharaj that give up anger and accept the supreme will. Brahmaji said that avoid spreading irreligion. The stubborn Indra introduced irreligious aspects, and people in general will get carried away by following the attractive sinful activities introduced by Indra. The purpose of your incarnation, Prithu Maharaj, is to protect religious principles. Upon advice of Brahmaji, Prithu Maharaj makes peace with Indra and abandons his eagerness to perform the 100th sacrifice. That's a little longer summary of chapter 19. Questions, comments, realizations? All right, so thank you for tolerating a few extra minutes. We are past 1 p.m. Toronto time. So for next class, please read Canto 4, chapter 20. And as daylight saving time changes, so next class will start 1 hour early, plus we'll add 15 minutes early. So we'll start 10:45 a.m. to 12 noon Toronto time, and it will be 9:15 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. India time. We'll stop here. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.